I have just hit the go live button and we should be up and running. Let me check. I have just hit the... There we go. Just confirm that I am indeed live. Hello everybody. We are 8 minutes away from the start of the JP official live stream. So right now I'm just checking everything. Can everybody hear me all right? Maybe we'll do a bit of a audio test. Make sure that you guys can, hear the original JP stream as well as my voice loud and clear. And then I didn't have my World Division JP app screen open, but there was actually something I wanted to show you guys, but since I didn't set it up, I guess I'll show you guys some other time. Let's see here. So Guild Battle in World Divisions JP starts in a little bit over an hour, and I'm seriously kind of worried today. In case you don't know, I'm currently playing in the #1 guild in JP, and we are, because they had to reset the Guild Battle trophies back to the status on May 1st. So right now we're #1, but ahead by the #2 guild by only 2 points. So if we lose today, then we are going to, end our run for #1. We've held the #1 spot since the middle of April, so it's been a good 3 to 4 weeks, I guess, since we were #1, but we are kind of in danger of losing the #1 spot in JP today. So I'm quite worried about that. Taping says, yes, hear you. Stray Light says audio is perfect. 3.5 anniversary, says Taping. Taping, are you from Singapore or Malaysia? Because I recognize your handle name as a popular drink in our region. So, maybe I should start a poll. I kind of forgot how to do a YouTube poll, but actually for tonight, the new unit could be a number of different things. That I think is most likely a new version of Ramada, because I think that is probably the one unit that the most number of players in JP are anticipating. But it could just as well be the the new costume version of Jaden and Alaya they showed us from a couple of weeks back. Or it could be a new version of Adolart, which they've been talking about since, I think, August of last year. So where the hell is my new Adolart, Gumi? Taping is from Singapore. Okay, that makes sense. I'm from Singapore too. Straylight says, yeah, gonna look for Taping after this stream. Oh, wait. Straylight, you're from Singapore too? For some reason, I thought you were from Malaysia or something. Estil Hawk says, let's guess the element of the new unit. I'm thinking water still. If it's new Ramada, I don't think they're gonna make her the same element. But it's kind of tricky now because right now in JP, in Tier 1, there's basically 3 elements. Technically 4 if you include Rainbow. So basically, Dark, Light, and Earth are all very strong right now. And in fact, a lot of people are having success running Rainbow teams consisting of all the strong units from Dark, Light, and Earth. So other than that, I guess Wind is not bad at the moment. Lightning is like, not that many people are playing Lightning. And the Water, I can tell you honestly, Faris is unfortunately not as strong as most JP players have hoped. We do have one guy in our guild in JP who has been getting 6 stars with his Faris team every single day. But the only reason that is happening that you probably can't tell, from, WOTV stats, or if you follow the, what we use for the guild, you probably can't tell that the only reason he's getting 6 stars every day is because he max reincarnated all 3 of his units in his water team. So, yeah, so if you think that maybe water is super strong just based on the results that he's getting 6 stars every day, think again, because the only reason we do have other people testing and running water, and you're not getting the same kind of results. Oh, I had a little bit of a glitch over there. I hope YouTube is working fine. Kitty Law, hey Kitty, thanks for dropping by. Kitty Law says, OMG, I'll be so hyped for Adelot. Yeah, me too. My favorite Adelot moment in World Vision's story was there was one scene where it's so ridiculous. Like, he's like standing in front of I forgot if it was Lucia or it was some other gunner, but basically he was like parrying all the bullets with his sword, and I was like, holy cow, that is freaking cool. And ever since then, you know, I think Adelot is a really cool character, but unfortunately his MR unit is not that great, so I haven't actually played a lot of him. Stray Light, see, I knew it! I knew it, you're from Malaysia. Irvin says, does Ralph work as a tank for Bradley or But yeah, actually one of the popular teams right now, I'm not sure if my guild sub-leader discovered it or if it was already being run in other guilds. But so basically for me, we had somebody in our guild figured it out, the team for that. And basically he has been running Ralphu, Bradley, and what was the third unit? I forgot the third unit. I think he was running Ralphu, Bradley, and Bartz. That's the team. Ever since Bartz came out, Bartz is like an incredibly insane unit. Like, he's like straight up OP. Like, I'm like, man. Like, so many people have been trying Bartz in all kinds of teams, and he just like does well in any kind of team. But definitely one team that is doing really well right now is Bartz, King Bradley, and Ralphu. So basically Ralphu, the reason why Ralphu is in that team, I believe, is because of some VC reason. And then in addition to that, Ralphu is just like probably the best rainbow tank that you can use right now in the game for WOTV JP. It used to be Alphonse and then Engelbert for a while, but after that, Ralphu is now like the favorite rainbow tank. Oh, looks like we're starting up here. Are we gonna see some kind of greeting from, what's her name? Yay! Now it's began. 22nd edition of the Leonis broadcast. And the person speaking now is Assalto, the evangelist for WOTV JP. And this is Misoshiru, whose name is Ishikawa Rie Ishikawa. Right now the person talking is Fujita-san, the director for WOTV Visions. And finally this is operations producer Nakai-san. The usual members, basically. Right at the beginning, Nakai-san has something to say to everyone. He would like to apologize on behalf of the team for the guild battle bug that happened, that began on May 2nd. Because on May 2nd, what happened was they implemented the sub-deck feature, and because of that, there was a very huge bug in guild battle that caused people to lose the fight even though they're actually winning. And as a result of that, they actually had to revert all the rankings to the status on May 1st. So he would like to apologize once again for that. And he's saying now, so as a means of correcting this, they have reset all the rankings to how it was on May 1st. And for the details, you can, if you don't know about it, you can go into the notices and read everything. And they did receive the concerns from players. Some players thought that, well, isn't it better if instead of resetting, couldn't you just go in and correct the ranking, the results that were wrong? And Nakai-san says that if they were to do that, if they were to just go in and correct the results of the results that were wrong, what happened is the ranking, the matching will actually be affected. And because of that reason, they decided that it was better to revert all of the rankings and trophies back to how it was made first for the purpose of matchmaking as well. So of course they are very they are very apologetic about this thing happening in the first place, but they felt that it was necessary to reset. And moving forward, of course, they will do their best and take more precautions to make sure that people's gameplay experience don't get affected by these kinds of things. And they're looking at, of course, how they can improve the process, how they can make sure that, or rather how they can try and avoid these kinds of things. It's a huge lapse. They do consider it a huge lapse of, of trust, and this was a really big thing, and they took it very seriously. And the worst thing was this bug happened during Golden Week in Japan when everybody is having their holidays. And partially because of that, as a result, they couldn't actually even work on fixing the bug because all of their staff are on holiday as well. That's what Miso Shiru-san said, by the way, because it was during Golden Week. Alright, so anyway, we are heading right into today's lineup. So first they're going to talk about the latest units. I wonder why they're showing these characters here. I wonder why. Maybe my thumbnail is wrong. Second thing, right after that, is the events and campaigns for 3.5 anniversary. And then I think there was one more thing, which was roadmap or something else. I didn't quite catch it. Anyways, they're moving forward to having the JP players vote for the set of presents that they want as per usual, but they're gonna change it. They're gonna change the format a little bit. So over here, this is what everybody will get regardless of results, and then we basically have to vote on Twitter whether we want set 1, 2, 3, or 4. By the way, how is the audio for you guys? Is the the original JP voice too loud? Can you guys hear me clearly and everything? So because they're explaining the presents, I'm not going to read that out, and instead I'm going to take a bit of time to read my YouTube chat and see what you guys are saying. Kitty Law says, hi, Editor Man. Oh, is Editor Man here? Oh, hey, Guide to Nerdhood. Hey, Editor Man, thanks for dropping. Is it Editor Man or is it Papa? Which of you are here? Is it Editor Man or is it Papa? Let's see what else people have said in my chats. Well, I missed quite a lot, huh? Taping said, WTF Max Reincarnate, it's a really powerful tool. Asteel Hawk says, whoa, hot commit to water her. Yeah, that guy in our guild is a water specialist, so I was surprised when he told me he fully reincarnated his team. The funny thing was, when I started to mock, so he got his fairies to level 148 on day 1. So when I started mocking on his team, I was winning his team, and then a few hours later, magically, I use the same team, and I find that I lose to his team every single time. So that's because he was in the process of reincarnating. Let's see here, what else do people say? Stray Light says, by the way, I'm rocking with my Fist team laugh hard at Dark Matter. Yeah, are you talking about JP or Global? Because right now, Global, I believe, Fist team with the new vision card today, Fist team is going to be in full swing. And one thing you guys have to notice, so I do believe in JP, Fist team, Strike team has been like tier 1, but for about 4 months. So 4 months later, that's when they will start introducing a lot more countermeasures for Strike. And then right now in JP, Strike team is no longer anywhere near tier 1. It's still pretty good, just not at the very top. Hey Bro says, yo, thanks for dropping by. Hey Bro, as usual. I haven't read your, I think, latest DM, but yeah, thanks for dropping by. Let's see here. Asteel Hawk asks, what vision cards will work for that team? You're talking about for Strike team? Kitty Law says, Lightning Spear unit is my guess. So a lot of people think they're going to introduce some kind of spear unit tonight. Like, whatever the new unit is, it should be a spear unit because Rafu is weak towards spear, and I think there are a number of other meta units that are weak against spear as well. So most likely they're going to use this occasion to sell us the most powerful spear unit ever released, and get everybody to pull for it during 3.5 anniversary is what a lot of JP players are thinking. Straylight says, still waiting for Nier rerun. My waifu to be needs some love. Yeah, I think it will happen sometime before the end of the Nier Automata anime. And then Fu says rankings LMFAO. Straylight says hello. Guide to Nerdhood says hello. Fu says hacked rankings are best ranking. Yeah, I heard about the hacker situation in Global as well, the recent one. Still Hawk and Noxong says audio is okay. Alright. Seems everything is good. And right on schedule, they just finished talking about the presents. Wait, what? Didn't we just see the So there was a bit of a weird thing because Asato-san suddenly went to talk about, so let's look at the lineup for today, but we've already seen it. So actually, so they're just gonna review it to us right now? Oh, Rando Country. It's gonna be new Jaden. Jaden of the celebrations or something like that. Spear unit, right? He's wielding a spear. May 14th, so that's in like 4 days from now. Stream Hero says WOTV needs a better NE cheat. Yeah, I agree. Noxong says, oh no, Jaden! New Jaden, yay! So here is the comparison between the old and new. They were kind of hinting at this as well because during the last live stream, right, when they revealed the new costume design, there were viewers who commented, why did you make the illustration full body art? Because the only time apparently WOTV does that is when they intend to release the character as a unit. So anyway, Nakai-san is saying that Jaden is a very well received and popular character in the game, so as a result, for the 3.5 anniversary, they are taking the occasion to release this new version of Jaden. Look at the costume, what is this thing called around his body? So last year, just like last year, there's going to be an original event unit. Original event story as well. And of course, this time it's going to revolve around Jaden and Alaya. And they're gonna tell us a little bit about what that event is going to be like. So here we go. Thinking back about Alaya when they were young, with Oberon and Jaden were always together. As for myself, I always felt envious about that. I wanted to chase after those two, and I wanted to acknowledge Jaden. This is all in Alaya's perspective. I sincerely wish for that. But when I grew up, I got a hold of guns and I began to make my way around the world. And I wish that we could be in the world that we live in the past. But unfortunately, with the war with Randall and Heindler being involved in the war, my hopes were dashed, and we were led into this cruel reality. Looks like there's some bug here. I hope it's not on my computer. Whoa, this is really bad. I'm gonna just hit refresh now for a bit and see if it helps a little bit. Not too sure what's going on. But it seems the tremors have stopped.
なんかちょっと通信が
Oh, so it's not on my end, but it's
ちょっと
on the JP side. They're saying now that there has been viewers commenting that there are connectivity issues. And now it's completely dead. And I can see the chat. It's gone completely black. Okay, so it flicker here and there. And they can hear, seems like the viewers can hear them. Okay, so it seems like it's back now. I can confirm that the technical issues are not on my end for once this time. It's the JP side of things. And Nakai-san is going to call out to a staff in the background. And they're looking into it right now. It seems like it's been fixed right now. They've changed the environment, the specs of the streaming. So it should be back to normal now. So I'm gonna read chat for a bit. Stray Light says, Jaden Ice, no! I hate ice. Oh no, I hate ice as well. Ice is my weakest element in JP. Key Law says, oh, guess the wrong element. Koi Monty says, Ice Spear, Shock Face. Taping says, Jaden V3. Astil Hawk points out that Triple Jaden is now possible. And our editor man and Papa says, Jaden without the guns? Yeah, what kind of blasphemy is this? PSS Ice hates you too. So they're talking about how you know, in the video you can kind of see the way that Jaden acts is like he's thinking of Alaya. And the way he speaks is kind of like, you know, typical of him. It's very hard for Nakai-san to reenact that because it's an uncle. So he doesn't feel comfortable saying those lines. Alright, so we're gonna go into the detailed specifics of the character. Eyes cost 100. And the main job is called Stag Lancer. Stag Lancer. In pull for him from May 14th to May 31st, so seems like this is going to be wait, not too sure if it's limited or not. There's a period? Okay, so it's not limited. He's part of the regular roster, not a limited unit. It's been confirmed. Just that you can, his pickup is, pickup summon banner is during here. And Stag Lancer is going to be a job that cannot be used by other characters. It's going to be his own unique job. And some people in the chat is asking, what the heck is a stag? And Nagai-san says, well, it basically means reindeer, right? It's basically, I guess we know what stag is because it's English. But it's basically the deer thing that is part of his motif. Brian says, also, Daiba, hope you're feeling better. Good to see you streaming again. Yeah, I was sick for about 2 weeks. Had fever on and off for 2 weeks. And then I fully recovered, but I was spending a lot of time on WOTV, so I didn't. I'll talk about this later on, but basically I was finding it hard to get into a groove of doing something for YouTube. But I think I'm going to try and dedicate about like 60 or 90 minutes each day to try and do something for YouTube. So we're going to go into the details for new Jaden. Grimoire, Master, and Cleric are his sub-jobs. Limit Burst, 3 turn to all the targets, 3 turn spear resistance down, and then MAG base damage L. Seems. So he seems to be a Lancer kind of unit, but seems like he's magic based. says Asalto-san.
単純にむせただけだ。今日なんか災難ですね。なんか目に入ったり奥になんかそう。すみませんでした。大丈夫です。改めて藤井さん、魔法系の槍という感じですかね。
So he's a magic type character, right? Fujita-san says yes, that's right. He is a magic base spear user, just like Dialdo. But he's a attacker. Sub jobs. He's gonna explain about sub jobs. I'm gonna change the format. This is Fujita-san's custom layout. So for Grimo Master, he gets... Well, Grimo Master is from Halloween Lucia, right? He gets Surely Tail, which is the straight line 3 range guaranteed hit attack. Cleric, he gets Esuna. So the Cleric level 12 job is just Esuna, it seems. He's talking about Limit Breath out. The range for this kind of attack is not that common in the game. Not that many attacks have this kind of range. So that's one of the things you should take note about him. And the spear resistance down as well is not very common in the game. And actually spear resistance is not something that you can stack a lot of in the game right now, even with vision cards and all that. So in the game, it's already quite difficult to stack up your spear resistance, and on top of that, this Limit Breath is going to reduce the spear resistance of the enemy unit. So he feels that that's going to be quite powerful for the new Jaden. Next time we're going to go into all the other details they can share with us today. So first of all, performance, frontline magic attacker type. So Mag Base spear attacks is his specialty, but he also can destroy magic barriers and do healing ability down to the enemies. He can remove re-raise as well as debuff the enemies. So now he's talking about this attack here. This move here breaks magic barrier and then does 2 hits of mag base damage M and changes the hate of the enemy to 0. So this move now is on the upper right is to all the enemies in the AoE range, 2 hits of mag base damage M and 3 turn healing ability down. And then over here, this is a AoE buff, 3 turn to everyone around him, single target resistance up, and for Jaden himself, he puts a physical damage. He puts a physical barrier on himself, and the physical barrier is like Halloween Lucius. It will protect him to a certain amount of HP. There's gonna be a new feature with Jaden as well, which is this move here, which is this attack here will reset the hate to 0 on the target. So of course right now you have units with who can gain hate through abilities, and then you can dispel that. That's already in the game, but what's new here is this move here will deal with the units who have a passive hate. So for those units with a hate up 5 on their passive or whatever, like they come into battle with the hate up, you can use this move to straight away set the hate to 0. Up to now, you have not been able to reduce the hate for those units through dispel or whatnot, but with this you can. So when this thing hits, straight away it will change the hate on the unit to 0. So imagine like Alphonse. And of course, on top of that, it also destroys magic barrier and does 2 hits of mag base damage M. So this is going to be an incredibly good single target attack. And of course, for manual players, this move is not going to be that good for you because hate 0 doesn't mean anything to manual players.
あるんですけど、
But in a way, setting a tank's hate to 0 is kind of like the death of a tank, don't you think?
もちろん右上のひし形
And then, of course, with this attack here on the upper right-hand corner,
引き込みっていうところも全然できるんですけど、
you can, of course, catch enemies through just like an AoE like this,
しながら、倒していくみたいなところをちょっと
and just defeat them that way. Of course, you can do that as well. You don't necessarily have to rely on setting hate to 0.
効果を入れてみました。
ゼロにした後で
But on top of that, they felt like they want to give this new type of attack to Jaden.
与えるとそれは戻ってくれるんですよね。
ヘイトアップを与える。それをやった後にバフで乗っける。
So Nakai-san has a question. So after you set the hate to 0, and then after that, if the tank does an attack that raises his hate, it will be raised again, right? And Fujita-san confirms, yep, it's going to be like that. And question from viewers? Yes, even if you put a bow tie on your unit, so you start in the game with 5, with this move, it will change it to 0 once it hits the enemy target. And also, one thing to note is that hate change to 0 means that even if the unit has negative hate, this move here will change it to 0. So of course, most people are going to use this to deal with tanks, but you can use it to deal with units that have negative hit as well. And then of course you can use this AoE to get multiple enemies in as well.
ないんじゃないかなとかはちょっと思ってます。はい。
まあでも何があるかわかんないですからね、プレイヤーの皆さんも。
いやまああると思います。ただまあそういうところがあったんで、まあ砲バリア破壊とか二連撃とかっていうちょっと要素も追加してるっていう。
So of course there are ways to sort of counter or lessen the effectiveness of this attack. But so because of that, they decided to give this ability here magic barrier break as well as 2 hits.
これに関しては範囲内の
And then with regards to the buff,
単体耐性を上げます。
this move here will buff the single target resistance of all your allies around Jaden
なので
and puts a physical damage barrier
でいうと
for Jaden.
ねハロウィンルシア。
So just like with Halloween Lucia,
はい。これ
the barrier is gonna be like I believe it's protect up to 7,500 HP. And Fujita-san confirms that is indeed the case, 7,500 HP.
でこれ EX で強化。
But when you improve it with EX skill,
で強化されると
after it's been upgraded,
斬撃耐性アップっていうのがまず
it will also have slash resistance up.
耐性アップっていうのがまずつくのと、
はい。
その物理ダメージの一定量7500っていうのが1万になります。
And the 7,500 HP barrier becomes 10,000 HP
1
barrier.
万なかなかこうねもうエルチェがだいぶ稼がれてるとか、そういう状況でもない限り、まあなかなか1万って出づらいところではある。
そうですね。
So especially with now that you have what is it called elemental chain resistance in the game, 10,000 HP protection is actually a lot.
そういうところと、あとプラスでさら
And on top of that,
無限強化
after you get him to level 140,
もう一段階
this gets
縦の縮
buffed one more time.
して、
This move over here
自身に対してのみなんですけど、範囲バフではなくて
is an effect that will be
攻撃
applied to
が
Jaden
成
only.
功した時に斬撃耐性貫通率をダウンさせるっていう効果をつけます。
So the level 140 enhancement to this move, the buff move, is it will give Jaden an additional effect when Jaden's attack hits a target. That enemy's slash resistance penetration will be decreased.
それと同じような感じで、斬撃貫通率
So it's a debuff slash resistance penetration. Probably for 3 turns. Yeah, for 3 turns. This buff is only for 3 turns. So for the enemies that are able to stack up to 100 slash resistance or 95 slash resistance, like King Bradley, hint hint, you can use this. Like once you buff Jaden with it, for the next 3 turns, all his attacks will reduce the slash resistance penetration of the enemies. And of course, that means if you hit them with this AoE, they're gonna all get their slash resistance penetration reduced.
ね、やっぱ斬撃のね、ファイナルファンタジーですから。
So Asalto-san is noting, well, since this is a Final Fantasy game, slash is a really prevalent attack type in the game. So this is gonna be really useful. There's so many attack units, and Naka-san says, well, Final Fantasy is a game about, swords and magic. So yeah, that is indeed one of the most common attack types. Not on the screen. He has ways to improve his elemental resistance. He has no courage or re-raise. So because of that, they decided to give all these things to him. 10,000 HP barrier, and then reduce change hate to 0, this kind of thing, because he doesn't have courage or re-raise. So I guess I have to pull for him, right? I mean, he sounds really good, but I don't know. My ice is like one of my weakest elements in JP. I don't even have snow. And that's the end of the explanation for Jaden, new Jaden. What do you guys think? So now they're going to talk about the challenge missions, which normally doesn't have any interesting information. So I'm going to read the chat. In the meantime, Estil Hawk says, oof, goodbye tanks on auto. Well, I don't think it's gonna be quite like that. Maybe it's goodbye to Alphonse because he has no way to generate hate. But some of the other tanks like Warrior of Light, I mean, you reduce it to 0, next turn he'll just, raise it up to 12 again. Let's see what people are saying here. Cesar Pereira says, I feel the idea is we already profited from Dialdo and Ruff. It's now time to make them irrelevant. Nah, they're not gonna be irrelevant right away, but Ice right now is not in a good place, so this is one good way to improve the strength of the Ice element. Right now he's saying something about I'll go back to listen to this again, but I think he said something about later on during the patch something will happen. I believe it's the implementation of this thing. So next they're going to talk about the event quest and the weapon. Hopefully Fujiwara-san will give us details about the weapon. So this is the new event. The event story. This, they've said before, it takes place in the past. It's about how Jaden met Alaya and they were at a ball, basically. That's why they're all dressed up. Some people thought it's a wedding or some kind of thing, but it's totally not that. And the weapon. So they're gonna ask Fujiwara-san about what he can say about the weapon. Passive. Spear attack up, and then for Jaden only. Wind, light, and dark resistance. Oh my gosh, the trust stones for new Jaden. Everybody will need to make a new exclusive set for him. Wind, light, and dark resistance, and that's all on top of strike ability up, strike attack up, I mean. So they are obviously quite they obviously know that right now the meta is very skewed towards light and dark and earth, because if earth is strong, wind is strong, and so they gave him light, dark, and wind resistance, meaning you're supposed to use earth teams to try and beat the new Jaden team. And there's gonna be a new vision card as well, Dark Shiva. Yohyo Yokok. I don't know how to translate this. It's kind of difficult. But anyway, this is Dark Shiva. Coming out on May 24th, so 1 week after new Jaden is out. So Fujiwara-san, any details for us? For the VC? VC is being adjusted, so he can't say anything yet. But she is Shiva, so she's gonna be magic base. Both the VC and the Esper are magic base. And since it's a Dark Esper, obviously is going to feature two elements,
氷
ice
と水
and water. Ice and water!
の副属性と
属性副属性物資に
Ice and water as so you can just put this
らしい
Dark Shiva with Dark Odin.
水の意味
Wow, this is kind of unexpected.
ありがとうございます
はい、なのであれですね、2枚目ですね、氷と水は。
So Fujasan says, yeah, this is the second VC
はい
that features Dark and water on it. So you like the first one is obviously Dark Odin.
まあビジョンカードとかユニットとかもあるんですけれども、
Wow.
5周年が来るということで、他にも
So
イベントやキャンペーンがご用意されて
obviously 3.5 anniversary is upon us very soon. So we're going to the events and campaigns. And before he talks about the campaigns, he wanted to talk about some important information, which is the main story, part 3, chapter 3, scene 2 is going to be released on May 14th. I haven't been reading the story at all, so I need to catch up to this. But as you can see, Rasnik is being featured in the main story this time.
その目がいいんです。はい、ここにね書いてあると、
This is Asalto-san's favorite unit, I think.
連合軍 VS ハインドラ、はい、戦います。
Then this time it's Ovis and Leone's alliance versus the Heindler
苦戦する門と
country, I guess. Kinda Heindler forces.
援軍が登場いたします。
And I guess I shouldn't read out what they're saying, right? Because it's spoilers, right?
言っていいのかな
I guess I shouldn't read that out for you guys.
質問されてるならやめてください。
So first of all, I personally have not read the story
といった形で
past chapter 1 of part 3, so I don't actually know what's going on. But even so, I shouldn't be reading out what they're saying about the new chapter, because it's kind of spoilers.
意外な人物も登場する。
There's gonna be some unexpected people who will appear in this chapter, says Nakai-san. So please look forward to playing this chapter.
かなり
Nakai-san himself as well. He was quite surprised. Like when he was reading it, he went like, oh, like he was really shocked by the that's what he just did there was his reaction to when he was reading the story. So it's gonna be quite a eventful main story chapter to look forward to.
と思います。はい、よろしくお願いいたします。はい、そして3.5周年。
And then next up, 3.5 anniversary login bonus.
いきましょう。こちら
We're gonna go through them.
はい、まず左側ですね。
Over here on the left.
ログインボーナス。はい、こちら
Seems like the regular stuff kind of things. I don't really pay attention to these kind of things, but it seems pretty regular to me. We do get an antler. We do get, a bunch of tickets for summoning.
まあご好評もいただいていて、結構これで出たよっていう方のツイッター報告も見るんですけど、はい、ピックアップ召喚ですね。
The pick-up summon tickets. Of course, there are people who sometimes post on Twitter, "Oh, hey, I actually got the new character with the summon tickets."
もちろん、アントラ、
And then, of course, there's antler and scrolls as well.
はい、盛りだくさんでございますので、ぜひお忘れなきようよろしくお願いします。
So please make sure to log in and pick up all these login bonuses. And then for the separate set of login bonuses that will take place from May 14th to 31st, this is for celebrating 3.5 anniversary. A bunch of stuff here, lots of potions.
こちらもね、アントラとか。
We have antlers as well, scrolls as well. See, you guys, I'm really shocked by how stingy they are in the global version, not giving us a lot of antlers. I can tell you right now, I have a lot of level 140 units in JP, and I'm sitting on like 12 antlers right now, you guys. I don't know why global is so stingy, but you guys need to, go and heckle Justin and Hiroki about that. And then here is the 3.5 anniversary campaign.
開始期間がそれぞれ違うものが右側っていう形に書いています。
Things are different.
経験値ギル2倍。対象クエスト JP& 経験値3倍。これがイベントクエスト。
So Chocobo Expedition, EXP and Gil, 2x, 3x for a bunch of other stuff, quests, daily quests, and this is daily quest. This is I can't see what is this. Universal Heart Quest, Unit Heart Quest. Sorry, for there's a 2x Unit Heart Quest for 2 weeks.
キャンペーンとして
And then from May 14 to June 15 for about a month, the amount of NRG potions that you can use will be, the limit will be increased by 10.
率もアップ
And then from May 15, PvP medals 10x. From May 22, arena medals 5x. And then May 25 to June 1st, for 1 week, we get vision card hard quest drop 2x.
たくさん過去に
And then of course, for this other period, 1 week from May 24 to 31st, we get a bunch of stuff like, most importantly, the what do you call it? The trust stone farming is at 3x. So all these things actually you guys should try and take note, because what Global tends to do is they will just carry over all these campaigns to Global, but then they don't tell you about it. I remember for the, was it the 3rd anniversary or 2.5 anniversary, we had all of these things that we had in JP, but they just didn't actually tell you about it in the notices. So some people were curious about why the limit of the NRG potions was increased the previous time, even though they didn't tell us anything about it. It's all because when they do the version upgrade in global version, they just carry over a lot of these things.
ビジョンハードクエストドロップ数2倍、アナザーストーリーだったり、いつもやってるやつですね、新年秘伝の間だったりだとか、
And our story as well, and our story JP and a bunch of other 3x stuff. So for all the details, you're gonna have it again in the
はい、
notices.
ぜひ皆様チェックしていただけたらなと思います。よろしくお願いします。
Let's read some chat. Fu says need more Rainbow Mind Spears. Stream Hero 77 says people ask for things and Hiroki only answers one question in the Q&A panel. It's really laughable. They call that a Q&A segment when it's mostly used to answer stupid questions. Well, I wouldn't comment about that. Fu says it's comedic relief.
この辺りは
そうですね。
They should answer why they allow hacks in the game.
3.5 ですよ。
3.5です
So, since it's 3.5 anniversary,
ということでこちら、
since it's 3.5, so
はい、最大350連分無料召喚開催決定でございます。
so we're gonna have up to 350 free summons
50は
across this period. Just like with the 3rd anniversary, we had 300 free summons. Now it's increased to 350.
5回にするか350にするかを
And wow, what is this?
よかった
So for the first part, I see here, there's gonna be a 100 pull, a 100 summon, and of the 100 summons, there's 5 guaranteed URs. And then after that, we have another 100 pulls. This is 10 days of 10 free pulls.
しましょうか。
So Nagai-san is gonna go into it now.
最大350
So throughout the entire period, we will get up to 350 free summons. The first part of this is one banner that will give you 100 draws when you 100 summons when you pull on it. This is a new feature in JP, by the way, that came out like a few weeks. You can summon up to 100 for certain banners. So they're gonna do this as a special banner, a one-time 100 pull, and of the 100 summons, you will get at least 5 guaranteed URs.
5月の14日
And then after that, separately from May 14 to 24, every day we will also get a free 10 pull. So that's 100 additional draws. And then after that, from May 24 and May 25 only, each day we will have, no, sorry, not each day. During these 2 days, there is a separate banner that will allow you to pull 30 summons, and of the 30 summons, there will be at least 1 guaranteed UR. And then from May 25 to June 1st, once again, we're gonna have a free 10 pull for 7 days, so that's another 70 additional pulls. And then finally, between June 1st and June 2nd, between those 2 days, there's gonna be one final banner that will allow you to pull for 50 summons, and of the 50 summons, at least one of them is going to be a guaranteed UR. So I'm really loving the free pulls. They are really being quite generous this time, because a lot of times when you have these kind of mass summons, right, mass free pulls, right, you can feel really bad if you don't get any URs at all for some reason. But they're gonna try and for this time, there's not only 350 free pulls, but you also get a bunch of guaranteed UR. So I feel that that is really nice of them to do that. And by the way, in JP, during the 3rd anniversary for the 300 free pulls, that's when I actually got a lot of my UR vision cards for the strike team and all that. So this is going to be really helpful.
本当に助かりますね。
And Misoshiru-san, Ishikawa Rie-san, just mentioned that she herself believes that her luck is really bad, so she's really thankful that the free summons are going to include guaranteed URs, which is really fantastic.
でその後遊んでください。
V Hobby says for sure global version would not get that. No, come on, give them the benefit of that. I'm pretty sure this will come over to global. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure they will do it for global.
そしてですね、
This is one of those things that seem like if they don't give it a global, it's like, I mean, I don't know, pitchforks will rise.
ということになるので、今回ちょっと趣向を変えてこういうものをご用意してみました。こちらご覧ください。
So next up, we have
記念クエスト開催
a bunch of other quests, anniversary commemoration
さ
quest.
せていただいてるんですけど、
This is
はいまあ
oh, you get to fight the what is it called in global version?
5月14
The monster thing that came out of the crystal for Leonis. What is it called? In JP we call it Tenyi.
詳しくは
Anyway, you will be able to cooperate with other players to fight against this threat.
ぜひ皆さん
So this is what this quest is about. It's an extreme quest, extreme difficulty quest. And then other than that, there is once again they're gonna do the lottery, the triple reward chance campaign, and this is going to be some kind of lottery
挑戦者の
for the people who challenge this quest.
挑戦者数ですね。言えてました。
Let's see here.
に応じて報酬がアップいたします。
You need to challenge this quest and clear some missions apparently.
A が1枚。5万人以上で UR ビジョンカード1枚かけ
Oh.
10連勝かけ。10万人突破で UR ユニーク
Okay, so the number of people who challenge this quest in the multi rooms, the total number will decide how many rewards we get. When it hits 30,000, 50,000, and 10,000 people, we will get all these rewards here. And then on top of that, when you clear the record mission for this quest, you will get this title.
そうなんですよ。
Those who challenge the monster, whatever that thing is called.
でさらに、5月24日
What is it called in global? Can someone tell me the name of the thing? Is it just called weapon?
称号ですね。を所持している
So this is the title, and then the third part of this is from May 24 to
はい3名様10万元動石
oh wow.
1万元動石
So for all the people who get this title,
元動石
there will be a lottery for everybody who has this title. You have a chance to get these things through the lottery. So this time around, it's not just a title. You actually, the people who clear the mission to get this title will be entered into a special lottery for these rewards. It's the first time they're doing something like that. Hopefully this will come to global version. These kinds of things, I'm not that confident will come to the global version or not, because it is a bunch of extra legwork for the operations team, so it may be more difficult to implement than something simpler like 350 free pulls. Realm Scourge is the name. Okay, thank you so much. Realm Scourge.
なんかね
So yeah, we get to challenge and fight the Realm Scourge. And then when you beat it with all the missions cleared, you get the title, Those Who Challenge the Realm Scourge. And you get entered into this lottery here. For the JP version, anyway. For the global version, the details may change. So take note of that.
プロデューサーさんに言われましたやっぱ転移なんで、
So he's talking about the Realm Scourge now. Is well, it's the Realm Scourge, so it's not gonna be that easy to defeat.
まあ難しめには調整させてもらおうかなとは思っています。ただまあ
So they're gonna make the quest difficult, of course.
トリオの方々だったりとかがやられるとまあもうちょっと歯応えがあるかって言われるかもしれないですけど。
But for the people who challenge, who are going to challenge this quest for the top number 1 ranking and all that, they may find it a little bit easy.
下の2と3の部分はクリアしたりとかっていうのがありますけど、1の部分を挑戦
But it's going to be overall, it's going to be quite hard.
ぜひまあ1回まあ多分こう始めたばっかりの人とか厳しいかもしれない。
So it's going to be pretty hard, especially for the newer players. But well, for those newer players, please do challenge your quest and see how incredibly strong the Realm Scourge is, because after all, it's a story thing as well, right? So he encourages the new players to try as well. And then next up, we already have a lot of stuff for the 3.5 anniversary, but on top of that, they feel like it's okay to implement this. This is going to be the next set of the Altar of Arms or Altar of Treasures. Next two set of weapons are going to be the Dragon Claw and the... What is this? Ame no Murakumo. I don't know what that is called in English, but in Japanese it's called Ame no Murakumo, which is this katana. So this is gonna be quite exciting for fist users as well as katana users. By the way, all the weapons in this series of quests are like broken, like you absolutely need to get them for PvP. They're like super good. So once again, Nakai-san is explaining that this series of quests, the Altar of Treasures, the layout changed while he was talking, so he was surprised by that. So you know in the game there are quests meant for newer players and for veteran players, right? But this series, the Altar of Treasures quest series, is not like that. It's not meant for just newer players or veteran players. It's meant for everyone, from newer players to veterans, because even for new players, right, it's actually super easy to try the quest once, even on auto or whatever. And once you get to a certain level, once you clear the first part, you get the weapons, right? But to power up the weapons, you need to fully clear, and that's where the challenge begins for the veteran players. So for new players, you can just play it once, just try it once, clear the first part, you get the weapons, and that will help you out in the beginning in PvE and all that stuff. And then for PvP, if you want to power it up, so for middle level players, they've made it so that middle level players will be able to clear this thing. Middle level players will be able to clear to the point that you can fully power up one of the weapons, one of the two weapons. And once you do that, you're really able to use it in any kind of PvE and obviously in PvP as well. And then for the end game players, they tweak the quest so that it's really difficult to clear it all the way. But when you do manage to clear it all the way, you will be able to power up both of the weapons. So because of that, as a concept for this series of quests, it's really meant for all levels of players. You don't have to be, you don't regardless if you're a new player or a middle level player or an end game player, you can come to challenge these quests, and you get different set of rewards depending on how far you are in the game. But no matter what level you're at, you're going to be able to get something great from this series of quests. And Misoshiu-san, who is a beginner in the game, says that she feels that she's always getting she's always losing in these quests. But recently, after she got a bunch of units to level 140, she feels that it's actually getting easier. And then there is a kind of knack. There is a kind of thing, like she noticed that there are certain things that you can try and do to make it easier on yourself to clear the mode. And this goes into the next slide, which is Asalto-san's kind of suggestion or initiative. Asalto-san's initiative. He's going to be streaming the strategies for the past quests. So for the people who cannot clear the quest, you can just go to Asalto-san's YouTube channel to look at how his strategies for how you can easily clear both the older Altar of Treasures quest. And then there's a bunch of tips and a bunch of advice as well for players at all levels. By the way, for myself, for all of the previous dungeons, I have not yet cleared a single one of them all the way. Like, the closest I have been is I'm at the final wave and I have like a few enemies left. So I'm like almost all the way there. But I didn't clear it because for my team, I actually didn't set some of the settings properly. I just used my PvP team, and it turns out if you do that, you're not going to get all the way to the end. The challenge really is with the number of turns you have to clear the entire dungeon. And because of that, you need to do things like, I don't know if I should actually talk about this now, because it is kind of a bit of a spoiler, but I think it's okay because it's a very small thing. But basically, you need to make sure. So for me, my mistake was I didn't change my unit's movement, the passive, from move 3 to move 4. And I realized that if I just did that, I would have been able to fully clear the dungeon. So you have to do that kind of things, and you have to try and find certain units and certain abilities you are able to like clear multiple units in one single move, and that saves you some turns. All these kind of little things actually matter in this game mode, and it's been a really fun game mode. So far I've not looked at any strategies because I want to try and clear it myself, and so far it's been a lot of fun for me to do that, even though I haven't fully cleared any one of them yet. I've only played each quest like once or twice, so I'm taking it slow, but it's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys look forward to this game mode in global version as well. In global version, my units and equipment, everything is way more stacked than JP, so I anticipate I should be able to clear it in like a single attempt in the global version once the game mode comes out. But for the people who have problem clearing the dungeons, Asalto-san said, by the way, I ignored all of what Asalto-san said. But basically he's explaining all these things, and he says that for the people who need help on these quests, you can go over to Asalto-san's YouTube channel and check out his past videos. He just tried to mimic Fujita-san. If you guys recall what Asato-san did there, is something that Fujita-san has did in the past. And he did it, and the other guys were like, no reaction. Stream Hero 77 says, who is the girl? Is this going to be a new character? What are you talking about? Oh, yes, the girl is like the protagonist of this game mode. So basically, Lucio. So this whole dungeon thing, right, has a story to it. And every single time they deploy a new set of dungeon, there's a story bit that you can read. And basically, the whole thing takes place in the after plane, where Lucio and the Crystal Warriors are at, and that girl is one of the girls. She's like a Crystal Warrior kind of. She's not really a Crystal Warrior, but she belongs in that realm. And then Lucio is going over to her to help her in something. So there's a proper story. You'll find out more about it when it comes out in global version. And then next up, there's gonna be Selection Quest 15 for Light, and I think they announced this previously already, but it's going to finally take place. It's going to finally come out on May 24. So for the people who want to get these two characters to level 140 or even fully reincarnate them, this is the quest to do it in. Gargus and Camilo. So Nakai-san just did an impression of Gargus. And what he said was basically, I'm sure you guys will challenge this quest, right? And get me to level 140, something like that. That's a really good impression. Pororo says that girl is not a reskin Lua. No, she's not a reskin Lua. She's a separate character that belongs in the same realm as the Crystal Warriors. And Rupo says her name is Eureka. Yeah, I don't even remember her name. Cesar Pereira asks, selection quest unit need scrolls? No, they do not. All the selection quest units and Lucio do not need scrolls, and you can farm their mind spears in all these quests. So all you need are the the EXP cubes, the statues, and the mind spears, which you can farm from over here. And there is actually a separate strategy that we use. I guess I'll talk about it later, but well, I guess I can talk about it. So for the selection characters, right, when you reincarnate them, if you want to take them to full reincarnation, right, the tip that was given to me is when you level them up for the stars, you should, if you can get 3 stars by level 10, you should just reincarnate it. No, even if you can't get 3 stars by level 10, you should just reincarnate the character at level 10, because once you go above level 10, or rather level 130, each level increment, right, will actually take rainbow EXP cubes. And so one way to save on rainbow EXP cubes and only use up your gold EXP cubes is to basically do more reincarnations and not worry about making sure that you have all 3 stars at each reincarnation. So that's one thing that's worth a try, because the number of mind space you can get, right, you can just keep farming for them. But for a lot of people, rainbow EXP cubes is a resource that not a lot of people have a lot of. So right now, what they're explaining is all these things are going to be added to the icons, headers, and what is this? Self-introduction profile cards, and guild member, guild member recruitment cards. So basically, right in the past already, for WOTV JP, they created all these materials that people can freely use on the web. You can use it, as your Twitter profile. You can use it, to, fill up your details for your guild or for your player card, and you can share with your friends and all that. So they're gonna update all these materials to include 3.5 anniversary stuff, including the new 3.5 anniversary characters, as well as the more recent character releases. And personally, I have not used any of these before, so yeah, maybe I should go and find the because right now what I'm using on Twitter is just like a screen grab, but maybe I should just go and grab one of these to use as my YouTube profile picture, my Twitter profile picture, and all of that stuff. So Nagai-san explaining now, they will periodically be adding to these materials as usual. So starting from today, they're adding all these stuff. Hey Bro says, I am less hyped for Angle level 140 now. I wouldn't be too hyped about it if I were you, because for the units that are already part of the meta, that are already being used a lot, they typically do not give them very good level 140 improvements. So I'm not expecting Lassala, I'm not expecting Engelbert, I'm not expecting Sadali's level 140 improvements to be really powerful. Probably going to be something very simple like 10 single target resistance or 10 area resistance, and then what they're gonna do is basically make it so that you can fully reincarnate the character if you really want to power them up, is my guess on how they're going to tackle it. Because even right now, I can tell you, people are still using Engelbert, even at the top levels of Guild Battle. So he is still really good even without his level 140. So I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're gonna give him anything that good. So yeah, don't expect too much for Engelbert level 140. So right now they're talking about the Pixel Remaster series, which I'm not really interested in because I don't have the games. Maybe one day I will go and buy the Pixel Remaster games and stream FF5 or FF6 or something like that. I've never played any of the Final Fantasy games before FF7. FF7 was like my first Final Fantasy. They're now talking about their favorite FFs. For Fujiya-san, FF5 is his favorite. For Nakai-san, for him is FF4.
生まれて初めてやったんですよ。あ、そうです。生まれて初めてやったんで、僕は何回も風数矢を実装してくれっていう話を藤田さんにしてるんですけど。言ってる。言ってる。僕選んでない。そうね。どっちかというと中井さん側で選んだはずでは。
Cesar Pereira says, nice at least selection units, and Lucio is possible to put max without spending. Visual with scrolls, JP points. Also costs more for each level too, I think. Yeah, you're right. You need about, was it 500,000 or 1 million JP points to fully max a unit? I don't remember already. But you do need a crazy amount of JP for sure. So for Lucio, I have the Mind Spears because I farmed them already, but I haven't taken him to max. But I can tell you there are people using max Reincarnation Lucio in Guild Battle, and he's actually not too bad at all. Trisha Spencer says, I'm still hoping for Flag Glacialus level 140 to be good. So yeah, so Flag Glacialus level 140 is coming in 1 or 2 weeks, in 2 weeks time. So we'll see what they decide to give Flag Glacialus in exactly 2 weeks time. So next time they're gonna be talking about the roadmap. There's an illustration apparently for Lilia. Oh, but they can't share it with us right now. Apparently there's some. Who's Lilia?
なんか一応その前も説明したんですけど、そのリリース前にもなんか一通り書いたものがあって、
So Johnson is saying that they explained this before. But before the game, before World of Visions is out, they actually commissioned a bunch of illustrations, including Lilia. I don't know who Lilia is. Oh, for Noctis as well. For the main characters of various Final Fantasy games, they actually commissioned the art way early. Like before even War of the Visions was out, they already started commissioning the illustrations for them. So Lydia is it Lydia or Lydia? I don't know, but they do actually have the illustrations for that character. I don't know where their character is from. It's probably from one of the Final Fantasies. If someone can let me know. So Nagasa is saying every single time, every now and then they do actually commission new illustrations as well. But every time they have to like keep it a secret. And now they're gonna go into the roadmap. So some of it they've already talked about previously. I think was it last stream? But you're gonna give us a bit more details. So with May, first of all, EX job ability, you can unlock them all at once, and then they're gonna make it so that from the formation screens you can change your trust stones. They're gonna make it so that the vision cards, you can filter it to show only the vision cards that have party abilities for your currently equipped units. And then for AI improvement, it's gonna make it so that this one I'll come back to again. I'm not too sure what they mean by that. Next up, when you log in, your guild battle proxy feature will be automatically turned on for you. That's going to be coming in later in May. And then for class match and arena, they will be making adjustments to the rewards to class match and arena. Sorry, for the AI adjustment, the change they're making is for the characters who have multiple healing effects. They're gonna make it so that you only use up one. So I think this is referring to the bug with re-raise, which I'll get into at the end of the stream. So next up in June, story quests. You will be able to save your favorite story quest for farming. And then for the guild battles mock battle feature, there's going to be some improvements. For the mock battle against everyone at once, you will be able to select certain defense teams to mock against. You don't have to mock all of them at the same time. You can select who you want to mock against when using this feature. And then from the mock battle screen, they also make it so that you can change your formations directly on that screen. And then next up, with they're going to have a feature improvement where you can turn on and off the unit affinity. It's an option before you embark on your quest. You can turn on if you want, turn on or off unit affinity. So for things like Trials of Reckoning and other PvP modes, sometimes it's better if you want to turn that off. And then for pickup match, the rewards will be adjusted as well. So all of these is happening in June. And then for July, there's going to be a bunch of UI improvements. Gonna make it so that for the guild barracks, you can just press one button to fully max out the barracks food. So no more tapping on your food, the 3,000 point food thing. And then for the trust stones, for TMRs, they will make it so that you can click on one button and it will fully unlock that TMR's trust stone pedestals. And then, what is this? For the unit status screen, they're going to add a line that shows you your unit resistance as well, your single target resistance as well as your AOE resistance. And then they're gonna add more sorting functionality as well, which will allow you to sort equipment by defense and spirit and AP. By the amount of AP or defense or spirit on the equipment. So that's everything. Those are all the things they are going to implement between May and July. And on top of that, there are other things they're working on as well, such as the ones that they have confirmed, they're going to announce it now. So from August until November, until the 4th anniversary, there's a bunch of things they're working on. It's not written here. They will tell us all those things in the notices, so they're not going to say it now, I think. So a bunch of stuff.
ユニットの新しい挑戦だったりだとかっていう部分も直近では増えている中で、それらに対する不具合が本当に多くなってしまっていることを改めて申し訳ございません。
So he's apologizing now for a bunch of bugs that has happened quite recently within the past few months. And of course, players have conveyed, their, feelings about how, sometimes the game is really difficult to play, and one of their challenges moving forward, or rather is something that they've been working for quite a while on, is they're gonna try and make the game easier to play. The biggest thing that they're gonna try and do is this thing. This is the number one thing they're focused on, to make the game easier to play. So that's why you have things like, one button to unlock the trust TMR's trust stone pedestals. You have one button to just click a single button and your barracks will be, maxed out. The food supplies, instead of having to click, on the same food restoration 3,000 a lot of times, you can just click it once and it'll go to max. So Fujisan has some stuff he wants to explain about the feature upgrades in May.
動線回収の動線ってなんだっていう話で言うと、今 EX ジョブってアビリティボードのツリーの一番上の部分で、
So right now, he wants to make this clarification. So you know how when you get to EX jobs like level 120, there's like 3 things on the top that you have to manually level up, right? And they're not included in the, So you know how you can hit the enhance ability button to enhance a bunch of your abilities, right? But you can't do it for EX jobs. So those 3 things on the EX jobs will be added to that screen, the enhance ability screen. So you can use that to quickly get your level 120 ability as well as the nodes to get to level 120.
結構ね、アサルトさん放送でバレる結構あったと思う。
結構ありましたよね。
たまに見た。そういうところですと。で、トラマスの部分はもう
As for the TMR,
トラマスを変えなきゃいけないってなったら一回ログまで行ってやらなきゃいけなかったのを、編成画面のトラマス長押しして、でそこから新名石まで飛べるようにっていう専用を追加しました。
So now, for right now in the game, you go to your Trust Master reward, your TMR equipment, right? And then you can't actually change the...
この辺に関しては
Wait, let me listen to what he's saying first.
ギルバトだったら3人、クエストだったら5人編成してると思うんですけど、その5人のうち誰かが、ブグ VC が対象だったり、属性 VC が対象だったりという対象になる VC だけを、表示する。
So first of all, for the vision cards, right? When you go to the formation screen, it's 3 people for PvP and then 5 people for PvE, right? So what the upgrade for the vision card thing is, when you select a vision card, you'll automatically only display the vision cards. You can turn this on, this feature, that will show you only the vision cards that can benefit your units. So anything that doesn't give you like a thing that will benefit your units, it won't be shown in that screen. So that's the new filtering option that will be added. Right now, you can resort it by elements and a bunch of other stuff, but this is going to make it even easier for people to find the vision card that you want. So Nagai-san is also explaining now, for a lot of players, especially the newer players, or even the veteran players who have a lot of vision cards, it's really hard to, find or decide on, what VCs you should equip. But with this feature, it's going to make it easier for you to look through and for you to decide what vision cards you can try and equip to improve your formations.
ぜひね、そこら辺分かりやすくしていきたいなと思っておりますので、ちょっと今苦手意識結構大きいと思うんですよ、ブグビジョンカードって。
So even right now in JP, there's some difficulty in terms of looking through your vision cards, but they are working to get this feature out very soon. So Nakai-san hopes that people will give it a try and see how much easier it is going to be when setting your vision cards.
今口頭で喋ってるんで、多分分かりづらい部分もあるかもしれないんですけど、お知らせで多分今回の UI 解説。
And then of course, Fujii-san is explaining now. They will explain all this again in the in-game notices. Right now, they are going to give us. Right now, they have been giving us details about all these things through word of mouth, right? Through spoken. But so obviously, it's a little bit difficult for people to grasp. So for those people, just make sure you look at the in-game notices.
この部分に関しては、例えば、一番分かりやすいというか、これが発生しやすかったというか、ローザの LB とかなんですけど、HP と AP を回復する場合とかに関して、本来だったら多分ああいうのって HP を回復してくれるタイミングで回復してほしい。
So this is an AI change?
レズニックが LB を使うタイミングとかで多分本来だったらやってほしいんだけど AP の基準まであるせいでちょっと他の回復キャラと違って使用のタイミング
So for the AI change, Fujisan gave us 2 examples. One is the Rosa Limit Burst, which recovers your HP and AP, and then the other one is Ayaka's TMR Boots, which is Asuna is status ailment recovery plus HP, right? So right now in the game, it's kind of difficult because the AI will actually use those abilities at the time when it's needed to recover AP or when it's needed to recover from status ailment for Ayaka's Boots. They're gonna change it. With this AI change, it's gonna make it so that it will prioritize the HP. It will use it at the HP recovery timing.
そういうのの回収をこれね。
So this is something that's been written in the producer letter for over a year. I see it every single month in the producer letter actually. And Hirono himself, I remember on a live stream more than a year ago, he actually talked about this already. That the Ayaka Boots, people say that Ayaka Boots skill is kind of useless because it will only be used to recover status ailments when you want it to actually recover HP, right? So that's why they said from way back. They want to change this. They're finally changing it now. And then this is separate from the Reina thing. Reina has a bug right now, in case you guys don't know, which is she has 2 different re-raise skills, right? One on her main kit and then another one re-raise force on her sub job. And right now, the way it works is the game in the first fight, the game will use your re-raise skill on the main job, and then right after that, it will still use the re-raise skill on the sub job. Which is obviously a bit of a waste. So that's a bug, and it shouldn't be something that's happening. So they're gonna make a change to that. It's coming in the same update as this, I believe. No, it's going to come at a different timing. They already told us that in the notices already, that basically Rena has this issue that they're going to be fixing soon. And next time he's going to talk about the proxy battle. This is something that a lot of people feel very strongly about. You know how there are a lot of people who don't log into the game, or even if they do log into the game, but they're too busy to do their guild battle, and then they don't turn on proxy battle, even though they are not going to be coming in to do their attacks, right? When you log in, there's going to be a checkbox. When you turn on the checkbox, every single time when you log in, the moment you log in, it will automatically set proxy battle on for you in the game. By default, this checkbox is off. But when you turn it on, every single day when you log in, it will turn on proxy battle for you. But of course, if you don't log in that day, it will never turn on proxy battle for you. So you still have to log in every day. At the very least, if you just log in and you have the checkbox turned on, it will set up proxy battle for you. And then your sub leader, your leader in the guild can do your proxy battle for you. So you have to do this before the guild battle starts, and it will do it. It will set proxy battle for you. Or rather, if you log in after the guild battle has concluded, then obviously it's not gonna set your proxy battle on for you. And then of course there are cases where for the guild, the direction they have is everybody must proxy battle. Everybody must turn on, and then there are some people who don't like that, right? So because there are guilds like that, or there are people like that, they make this as a checkbox. So you can turn it on or you can turn it off, it's up to you, but definitely discuss it with your guild on what you guys want to do. And then with regards to the reward adjustment for class match and arena, the adjustment is they're going to add more numbers to the things that are already there, and they're going to add more stuff as well. So those are the changes you can expect for arena and class match reward changes. More of the current stuff and some other stuff added in as well. For the gym updates, there's only one thing Fujiya-san really wants to comment on, which is the unit affinity turning on and off. Some people may be confused about why is such a feature necessary. So there's two things to note here. For guild raids and for Trials of Reckoning, for these kind of quests, you do need to do agility tuning for your turn order to make sure that you are optimized for your build information. But because of unit affinity and the starting initial position on the map for Trials of Reckoning and guild raids, it can make it really difficult because of certain unit affinity that you have. And then it kind of forces you to use units that you don't have a unit affinity on, or you need to separate them. So because of that issue, they're gonna introduce this feature to allow you to turn off unit affinity when you don't need it. To be honest, I wanna try. I wonder if this unit affinity turning off thing can be used in PvP as well, because I feel like it will affect some movement. But for the most part, this is a feature for guild raid and Trials of Reckoning. Oh, there he goes. He's going to talk about AI in PvP, auto PvP. So for the most part, the AI will pick an action that will put you in a good position. But because of things like unit affinity, because of unit affinity, it actually affects the movement of the AI, which if you're a veteran, I think most of you know about. So if you have unit affinity on, of course there are some benefits to that, but the downside to that is the movements, right, of your teams will move in a way that it's easy for them to be caught in area of effect attacks, AoE attacks.
親密度、今ある機能の部分をフル活用できるような AI っていうのを
So right now in the game, right, of course it's fully 100% unit affinity, meaning whatever unit affinity you have, then it's as it is. And so as a result, there are a lot of situations where your units do get caught in AoE attacks. So for those situations, Fujita-san wants to add this feature for PvP as well to allow you to turn unit affinity off so that it's harder for your units to get caught in these kind of AoE attacks. So that the AI will ignore the unit affinity, right, and move differently. So because of that, because of both the PvE aspect and the PvP aspect, they've decided to add this as a feature so that people have a choice on whether or not you have unit affinity turned on or off. Does everybody understand the whole unit affinity in PvP problem? Basically, when your units have affinity, right, the AI will move in a way to try and get them close together for the unit affinity bonus. And as a result of that, you do get hit by AoE. So for characters like Alaya, for characters like snipers and gunners, basically this is like the one thing you don't want the most, right? So for those units, it will be really good to turn it off, and then you just keep them behind and away from the tank and other characters. So there's gonna be I'm really glad they're putting in this feature, not just for PvE but also for PvP. Tricia Spencer says no affinity in PvP might mean less stupid AI decisions to get units into AoE range. Correct, you're absolutely right on that. But with that said, there are advantages to unit affinity as well, which is that obviously you get agility up on your units when they are grouped together, and that actually helps you in certain PvP situations as well. So depending on the situation, you will be in the future, once this feature comes into global as well, you will be able to customize whether or not you want unit affinity on or off in your PvP battles. So that's all of what they've prepared for us for the live stream today. It's been quite a feature-packed, quite a tight broadcast. First, we had all the details about the new Jaden, who is an ice unit, of course, a cost 100 ice unit. I'm not sure if I want to pull for him yet, I'll decide later. And then after that, they talked about all the 345 anniversary campaigns and stuff, that most of that will be coming to a global version. The one I'm most excited about is, of course, the 350 free summons that I'm very much looking forward to. And then after that, they talked about the roadmap and gave us a lot of details about all the improvements that are coming your way, not just in WOTV JP, but also eventually in WOTV's global version as well. Tricia Spencer says, things like Satya going next to King Mon so she could do more damage but in turn get AoE'd. I'd rather her stay in maximum possible range. Exactly. So I'm really glad that they pay attention to these things and finally give us an option to turn unit affinity off. And I hope it's by unit. Like, I hope you can decide to have some units, have the unit affinity on and off. I hope it's not a feature where if you decide to turn it off, then everybody in your formation will not have unit affinity. Anyway, we are now into the closing comments. So Misochu, aka Rie Ishikawa-san, is saying that she's the 350 free summons is really helpful for her as a new player. She also said a bunch of stuff that I wasn't paying attention to, so sorry about that. But she's looking forward to the 3.5 anniversary for sure. Next up, Fujita-san. So he's gonna tell us first. So he's the person responsible for the development of the game at Gumi, and this time they've, using word of mouth, they've explained to us a lot of things that they're doing in the game, and of course you'll hear more about those improvements in the notices as well. But they're really thinking a lot about how to make the game better, how to make the game easier to play. And they're working on all these improvements. And of course, in the past, when there were a lot of bugs and any kind of major misses, they did have to, apologize and, try and fix them. And for this time as well, what happened during the Golden Week, not just with the Guild Battle thing, but also with the Rena thing. A lot of things, these are things that they're reflecting on and they're working on, improving their process. And then, of course, this time on the stream, they were able to tell us ahead of time a bunch of things that are coming our way in terms of feature improvements and in terms of, new contents. Like, for example, the changes for Arena, for the new quests and all that stuff. And of course, there are other things they're working on that they haven't said, that couldn't say yet. But there are also other new content stuff that they're working on that they hope to, they look forward to implementing them. And once the timing is right, they will let us know more details about those new stuff they have planned for us as well. So he hopes that, Fujita-san hopes that all the players will look forward to all these new contents and of course the improvements as well. Right now it's almost at the 3.5 anniversary, and he's really sorry that right before the anniversary there were a bunch of really big misses by the development team with regards to the recent bugs like Guild Battle and all this stuff. So he apologizes for that, and he hopes for everyone's continued support. Right now, Nakai-san is going into his closing comments. So yes, Nakai-san says with the bugs, there were a bunch of fundamental problems that they kind of missed out on. So it's something that they know really affected players' experiences. So they're going to revise and look at improving that. And then of course for 3.5 anniversary, it's almost here. There's a lot of stuff they have planned for us, as discussed on this stream. So Nagai-san is looking forward to participating in all of the 3.5 anniversary events with the rest of players. Nagai-san says that he himself will be participating as well, playing the game. And so with the characters unveiled in new costume, there was Jaden, there was Alaya as well, right? So with regards to Alaya, Nagai-san says that pretty soon, quite soon, he'll be able to tell us more details about the Alaya. And then of course there are some other kind of I think promotions that they're doing as well. So I think Nakai-san was told by somebody that they should try and do more kind of promotions outside of the game as well. I think that's what he's saying. But basically he's thinking about all these things and moving forward with all these things, and he wants to make the game better for all of us. So please hope for everyone's continued support. And then right now we're going into Asalto-san's closing comments. So Asalto-san said during the broadcast as well, we read a bunch of viewers' comments on the JP stream. And it's the 3.5 anniversary, so looking forward to celebrating it with everyone. And Asalto-san just did an impression of Gagas. Please something along the lines of look forward to the 3.5 anniversary, and he's gonna close it out for the team right there with that Gargas impression right there, and that is the end of the JP official live stream this time. How was it for you guys this time? I think we got quite a lot of information out of the live stream this time. It's been a really packed 1.5 hours actually, if you think about it. Like I said earlier, we had information on Jaden, we had a bunch of the 3.5 anniversary campaign information, and the thing I'm looking forward to the most are definitely all the future improvements coming our way. Let's take a look at chat here. Kitty Law asks, Ice Jaden sub jobs, they are Grimoire Master, which is Halloween Lucius job, and then the other one is Cleric. Grimoire Master and Cleric. And then Raoul Wolf says, so y'all have 3 Chaos Aspers left, right? Water, Light, and Dark, right? No, we have more than 3. We have a bunch now. Raoul Wolf also said, I'm happy about... Oop, I think they're ending the stream here, so I'm gonna go over to my Twitter instead. And let's see here. So I'm gonna finish off the stream by just reading everybody's comments, and I want to go and do my JP Good Battle as well. So it's been a pretty packed 1.5 hours. I think I'm gonna try and do like some kind of summary later on. It's not actually that much information other than the QOL stuff. But let's see here. Cesar Perez says, I've seen Ayaka's boots make a difference with the AI using it to remove status, and the shield being a bonus that even turns the battle run. So after the AI adjustment, you will start seeing Ayaka's boots TMR use that skill as a healing skill rather than a status ailment removal skill. Trisha Spencer says, no, affinity in PvP might mean... Oh, I've already read that. Asteel Hawk says, yes, annoying when the tank hugs my squishy. Trisha Spencer said, you said something about healing changes. Well, basically, they are going to change the AI in terms of how they use abilities that recover multiple different things. So the two examples given was Ayaka's TMR, which of course is not only a HP recovery skill, but also it recovers a bunch of different status ailments, right? So right now in the game, the way it works is your unit will only use Ayaka's TMR skill only if you have an ally that is hit with one of those status ailments. So it's purely a status ailment, or rather they'll use the skill at the timing of recovering from status ailments. So let's say if you have a unit who is at 20% HP, right, you won't see your unit use the Ayaka TMR skill at all, but you're going to change it so that the AI will see it as a HP recovery skill, so that whenever you have an ally with 45% HP or lower than that, that's when your unit with the Ayaka TMR will start using the TMR skill to heal up your ally instead. Trisha Spencer says, Ayaka's TMR doesn't heal, right? Just barrier and cleanse. No, it heals. It does heal. It cleanses and then it increases recovers HP as well. It doesn't give you barrier. I think you're thinking of something different. Raul says, also I'm happy it's not new Ramada LL. Fairies just came out and I definitely want to insta pull new Ramada without difficulty. Yeah, that is a good point. But we don't know if new Ramada will be water at all, and I guess I need to go and change my thumbnail, huh? I need to change it to something more appropriate. But yeah, it's like I'm kind of looking forward to a new Jaden. I'm not sure if I will pull on it. It's an ice unit, and like I said, my ice element in JP is kind of weak, so I guess maybe I'll do a wait and see kind of approach. Trisha Spencer says, Mastery's TMR heals. Ayaka's TMR heals as well. I'm pretty sure it heals. It purifies... Wait, you know what? Why don't we go to WOTV Calc and we'll check it out. WOTV Calc. We'll settle this argument right on the spot. Diva. Oh, I'm in the mobile view. We'll leave no stone unturned. Alright. Maybe I should put on some music. I never really thought about this when I set this up. But we're just gonna take a quick look. Yeah. There we go. Wait, am I mistaken? I thought the TMRC? Oh, it's Barrett. Wait a minute. Is it not HP recovery? Has it always not been? Wait, oh, is it different in JP? I always thought this TMR recovers HP. Hello? I think I just had like a Nelson Mandela moment. Like, wait a minute. I thought this recovers HP. Maybe I'm thinking of some other skill. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but But so why, if it doesn't recover HP, I don't know why Fujita-san brought up Ayaka's TMR as an example, but yeah, maybe it's some kind of mistake. But the other example he gave was actually Rosa's limit burst, so that for sure, that I'm quite sure is something that recovers HP, right? So maybe the Ayaka TMR example is not the best example. Rosa limit burst. Because I know that obviously Mashri's necklace does give you HP recovery, but that TMR skill has never had it has never had an AI problem. So I don't think he's talking about the Mashri TMR. But he was definitely talking about the limit burst on Rosa. So as you can see here, is an HP recovery skill as well as an AP recovery skill, right? So apparently in the game, the timing for this is, like, she will use this mainly at the AP recovery timing, I think, and not at the HP recovery timing. So they're going to change the AI such that it will be seen as an HP recovery skill. Alright, so I think that's going to be it this time for the stream. Pretty straightforward. All the information, I think I've went through all of the chat as well. No lingering questions, I think. And I actually read, I think, most of the chat this time around because there was quite a bit of downtime on the stream itself when they were explaining things that was not so much about information. So anyways, this has been, fun. Sharing with you guys all the information that was told to us live on stream. So I'm gonna go and get ready for my guild battle stuff. Thank you guys for coming and watching the live stream with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Kitty. Thanks for stopping by. Raoul's haha Mandela effect. Yeah, I have no idea why. I always thought Ayaka's TMR skill recovers HP, but I don't know how that could have happened. Alright, so thanks again, everyone. I'm gonna go offline now. See you guys next time.